And here we have our very first match.
All right, Mark and Byron. Here we go.
Mark is on some flavor of Boros. Looks like he's already down to 6 cards. And Byron is on Mono Blue Tempo, which is a fringe deck but has put in some very good results.
Okay.
A lot of 1-drop unblockable creatures.
Okay.
And the linchpin of the deck is Curious Obsession. It's a 1-mana enchantment. Whenever the creature deals combat damage, you get to draw a card.
Oh.
Pairs very nicely with your 1-drop unblockable creatures.
Right. So this is just a speed to get as much out as possible. Okay. Fair warning to those listening at home. I'm new.
Alright, so we got Byron's hand here. We got 3 lands, also down to 6. An Opt, a Merfolk Trickster, and a Tempest Djinn. Tempest Djinn is a nice card. 3 mana, blue.
Okay.
Star 4 flyer as power equal number of islands you control. We see Mark's hand, a couple of Guild Gates, Mountain Sky Knight Legionnaire, 2/2 Flying Haste. Hopefully we see something earlier than that. Otherwise, I think Byron's going to run him over.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking at kind of a roadblock.
Those tap lands are a little harsh on the Boros deck. We see a Healer's Hawk on turn 2, 1/1 flying lifelinker. Byron's going to opt at the end of turn. Okay, over to Mark's turn 3. There's another Guild Gates. This is Relentless Raptor.
Okay.
I think. 3/3 with Menace. So just a good, solid, aggressive 2-drop.
Okay, so it's to hopefully apply pressure for counteracting some of the speed?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just trying to race at this point. Whoever is going to be able to kill the opponent first is pretty much going to win. Which is going to be tough now that Byron's got this 3/4 flyer on the field.
Oy.
Mark does have an Aurelia in hand, which is very nice. But he is stuck on 3 mana. So hopefully he draws his 4th source of mana and we can see that Aurelia come down. She's great.
Really, exemplar of justice. All right, here we go.
Byron's 4th turn played an island, so the Djinn is up to a 4/4. It's going to swing in. Mark's going to block with the Healer's Hawk and gain a life. Byron's going to pass. It looks like he has an Exclusion Mage and some counter spells in hand. It's a Luminous Bonds to prevent the Djinn from attacking or blocking, and Byron's going to go ahead and counter that spell.
Okay. I'm surprised at how fast already it feels like there's like a little bit of playing from the back foot going on.
Yes. The Mono Blue Tempo deck, even though we're still at pretty even lives, Mark's even ahead by 1 life, Mono Blue Tempo has a lot of really high impact creatures that also have very relevant enter the battlefield effects.
Sure.
In the Merfolk Tricksters, they can basically nullify a creature and its abilities.
Oh, wow.
And turn it to like a 0/1, I think. And there we saw Byron playing there's the Merfolk Trickster.
That's a beautiful card.
It is. Tap target creature and opponent controls, and it loses all abilities. So you do it before combat, opponent can't attack with it.
Right.
We are at... Okay. He's just going to go for the Relentless Raptor this turn. It looks like his 4th source was another Guild Gate, so we couldn't play our nice pretty angel this turn.
We're hoping we get to see that soon. I'm sure Mark is hoping we get to see that soon.
There's another Exclusion Mage to bounce the Raptor again, and Byron is coming in for 2, 4, 6, 10 damage.
Okay, damn. All right.
Mark's at 3.
That's, I know, I just looked down to the bottom of the screen and, hey, surprise, guess what? Game pretty almost done.
And Mark's going to concede.
Oh,
that
wow.
was rough. Byron, I know, has requested to be on stream tonight because on our Other Realms forums, he has put up his deck list with tips and tricks.
Oh, so this is a little bit of a tutorial that we're getting here.
This is a tutorial, right? And here we're going to see Byron's sideboard some Surge Mares, which are great blockers, 0/5s. Looks like Disdainful Strokes, a suite of counter magic in Essence Scatters and Negates. There was a Jace Cunning Castaway, Planeswalker that can make copies of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see what he wants to board out. Looks like he's taking out his counter spells. He's just trimming. He's going to go fast.
Wow, so we're looking at even more of a speed increase than what we just saw.
He's taking out
And it doesn't really matter the strength of a lot of his creatures, because he'll
Right.
have enough of them and he just flat out neuters the other deck. Okay.
And most of them are either unblockable or have flying. They're really hard to deal with.
Now, how meta is the deck that he's playing right now? Is this like one of the top tier then?
This is...
All right,
this
so we're
is,
looking...
it's not a super popular high type tier deck, but it has shown very strong results in some very capable players. Some of the Japanese players, pro players, have been playing this deck at some of the pro tours.
That surprises me that something like this wouldn't be more popular then, because this seems like just an absolutely beautiful solution to a lot of people's. It's like, oh, you wanted to use that? That's nice, but
and it's cheap.
Right.
Though it's mono blue, you don't need shocks or buddy lands, and it plays a lot of commons and uncommons.
Wow.
So as
almost a high tier pauper.
As far as budget decks go, it's pretty close. Yeah.
I guess people just like the flash of some of the other ones then, or is it?
It's
people do not trust their own ability with this deck.
It's a little inconsistent.
Okay, so like if you come down with the scissors to its paper, it's just there is no fighting back from it.
Right.
Gotcha. And what is the hard counter for something like the mono blue tempo?
Board sweeps.
Okay.
So in red and white we have things like Deafening Clarion that deal 3 damage to every creature. Black has Ritual Soot, which kills everything with a CMC of 3 or less, which hits Tempest Djinn, unfortunately. White has Cleansing Nova. Blue, the deck tries to counter a lot of 1/1/1 kind of removal. So if Mark brought in, say, some Lightning Strikes or something to try to deal with these early creatures, what Byron has in his access is a card called Dive Down. It costs 1 mana, and it gives a creature +0/+3 and hexproof. So if he casts it in response to Mark's attempt at removal, it'll just completely nullify the spell, because it won't be a legal target anymore.
Right. But then pretty situational to have that so perfectly in your hand.
Right.
So, so I see where you're saying that it's a little inconsistent. Okay.
Basically, he only has 3 or 4 of that card.
Right.
And the rest of the deck is pretty susceptible.
Gotcha.
So we're going to see here our opening hands for game 2.
And so Mark's Boros deck, does he have the tools needed to possibly pull this out?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen his deck. Let's see. We've got... So this card here, this is the Curious Obsession. He's got 3 copies, an Opt and a Dive Down. Byron giving us his little tutorial there. Pointing. And we're going to see an Opt at the end of Mark's turn. Mark playing a Relentless Raptor. This is nice. Really good pressure on turn 2. Byron had a slow start.
Okay. Which is about all you can ask for, it sounds like. So we'll see.
Wow, this is a really fast start from Mark. This is great. He has some of the best 3-drops in red and white. We see here is a Legion Warboss.
Okay.
Making goblins every turn.
Ooh.
And has Mentor. And we see an Essence Scatter from Byron. So no vibe.
Yeah. Nice knowing you.
This card has been likened to a older card from Standard called Goblin Rabble Master. Which was similar, and it pumped out tokens every turn. It swung and it was a big threat.
Right.
This one may not do as much damage by itself, but it has a little bit more potential because it has Mentor.
Okay.
So on the turn that it gets to attack, you're actually attacking for 5. Because you have the token you made the first turn it came down. And then the next turn when it attacks makes another token and mentors. Let's see. It was a Lava Coil from Mark's side, probably brought in from the sideboard to deal with the Exclusion Mage, and a Healer's Hawk. We see land 4, and this looks like an Aurelia, maybe. He might be holding it. Nope, he's going to go for it. She's a 2/5 with Mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And on beginning of combat, you can give a creature +2/+0. If it's white, it gains Vigilance, and if it's red, it gains Trample. She can target herself to be a 4/5 Vigilance Trample with Flying beat stick.
Sheesh.
And here we see a pretty good answer from Byron's side. This is a Tempest Djinn. Right now, it's just a 4/4, so it doesn't line up super great against the 4/5 Aurelia. But he can... Oh, and there is the dive down that we mentioned about.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give his Tempest Djinn Hexproof to block the Color the Culprit, which Mark brought in, which deals with creatures with toughness 4 or greater. Specifically to bring in against those Tempest Djinn.
Gotcha. Color the Culprit. There we go. Destroy target. Toughness 4 or greater.
Pretty solid and limited.
Yeah.
There is actually a 3-cost rare that does something similar, but it destroys every creature with toughness 4 or greater. Unfortunately, that would hit his own Aurelia, so we're probably not playing that one.
I don't know. Sometimes a suicide dive bomb might be exactly what you have to do if you're getting run over too quick.
And the question here from our table about Aurelia's trigger. It looks like Mark did buff the Aurelia, so the Healer's Hawk would have gotten the Mentor counter, and so Mark would have gained 2 life there with the Djinn blocking it. So Mark is up to 25. Byron is at 10.
Oh, stark contrast to what we saw in the first round. I like it when a game can go back and forth like that.
Right.
That's when it's like, okay, let's see both these decks flex.
We see Byron playing 2 Curious Obsessions here. If this deals combat damage, he gets to draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Oh, he has +1/+1. That's nice. So this is a 6/6 Djinn.
Ooh.
So it's dealing combat damage to Mark. He's going to draw 2 cards. We see another island, which is great. And a Siren Storm Tamer. This is probably just going to be blocking the Aurelia.
Okay. Siren Storm Tamer.
Counterspell on a 1/1 flyer.
That's very good.
It's nice, and
That's
it's a wizard.
Useful. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Turns on Wizard's Retort, which was the counterspell. It got cheaper if you have wizards. Nice. It actually counterspells but it targets you as well, so it can counter a lot of the good discard spells that some of the control decks are running.
I feel like a lot of the cards in this mono blue tempo are like jack of all trade. Like how many hats can one card wear almost?
Here we see Byron going to be opting. It looks like a Charter Course, which would be just more card draw. He's going to bottom that. And here come the Tajik and the Aurelia. Tajik is a 3/2 haste with Mentor. Prevents all non-combat damage or your other creatures would gain or would take. And you can pay 2 mana to give him First Strike.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like Mark targeted the Aurelia with its own ability. It was a 4/5. And Byron's going to block the Tajik that got mentored from the Aurelia. The one thing about the Curious Obsession, this really great blue enchantment, if you don't attack and you have it out on the board, it sacrifices itself.
Now he's up to 3.
He's up to 3. This is a...
So a 7/7 now?
3, 4, 5... 8/7.
8/7.
Or 8/8.
Okay.
Is it? Byron playing here. Mistcloaked Herald, I believe, is a 1/1 unblockable merfolk.
Okay.
It's another cheap creature. That I would like to be blocking the Tajik. I don't... Ah. So before combat, Byron's going to go ahead and play the Merfolk Trickster. This turns off the Aurelia ability. So he can't buff any of his other creatures this turn.
Ooh.
So he's just got the Tajik and the Raptor to attack with. The Tajik will be able to mentor the Raptor, though. Because it is a 4-3. So now he's got a 4-3 and a 4-4 coming in. Byron's doing a quick count here to see if he is lethal next turn.
I was told there would be no math.
Did your teacher say you have to use that math eventually?
You're right. Who'd have thought it would have been in a Magic game, right? Here we go. Now, Byron's walking that fine line with only 2 health, but I mean,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How fast that spins, he could pull this.
He
could pull this, right?
10. That's 10. Mark's at 1.
And this is why you have those little unblockable 1s, right? Yeah. Just to constantly apply those pokes that will eventually add up to something like this.
This is tough. All right. Let me see. He's got 2 exclusion mages in hand. So he's going to be able to bounce the Aurelia, so he's not taking any flying damage next turn.
Okay.
He's thinking about playing the second one.
Wow.
He has another Djinn in hand. He's gonna hold back. Mark's gotta win this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got 2 Aurelias in hand. That's a little rough.
You know, it's good. We're both like, what's happening? Come on. Make the play. Add the 1s and 0s. Come on. Alright.
Problem is that the Relentless Raptor, I believe, has Menace. So it would take both of Byron's creatures to block that Raptor. And then the Tajik would come in. So unless Byron's got another trick up his sleeve, I don't know if he can survive this turn.
Come on, tricks and
tricks.
tricks.
I'm sorry. It doesn't have Menace.
No
I thought
menace.
it did.
Okay. Vigilance.
That would be a really good card. This dream world where Boros is the best color in every time. And Mark's going to concede there, I believe. On the crackback, that Djinn is super lethal.
Yeah. Man, good game.
That was great.
I'm seeing this shape up as I'm still learning the decks myself, but I'm just, like, the speed at which this mono blue tempo moves is pretty impressive, and I'm especially considering the fact that I'm sitting here and watching Mark shoot upwards in health, and then it doesn't matter. It's still all just kind of like taken out at the knees.
Right.